Testing sound. Oh, welcome back. Um, while offline, I actually did fix all of the tests here. Wasn't particularly interesting. More tests do need to be added because I do need to add some tests specifically to test various aspects of variable declarations. Uh, like test out to make sure that shadowing works the way it should, things like that. Um, so, but there's a frustration that I've had. Um, by the way, I'll just, prove that all the tests work. Also, too, something needs to be done about this. This is basically error messages from the depths of the parser. And there are also things about the parser that don't work right. Like it should be returning a null parse tree and a failed parse, and it isn't. Um, it is sometimes, uh, but in the case of a failed variable declaration, it isn't. And I think there would be other cases in which it might not as well. And I have some guesses as to what's going on, but I do need to do dive in and figure out why, which is why I've stuck these to do items here. This should actually be check that result is null pointer. Um, Luckily, it does, of course, abort before it consumes all the tokens. So that's at least a one positive. Um, but there's a problem that I've been having that I keep on working around that annoys me greatly. And that problem is that I like my commit messages a certain way, and I really should be double checking to make sure that the commit messages look all right. Um, you know that the commit messages meet my standards before I allow the commit. Um, I should have some way of overriding it as well. So the proper way to do this is a mercurial pre-commit hook. So let's do a search on this. So too small. There we go. Yes, pre-commit. That's exactly the kind of hook that we want. Um, so how do we make this happen? Uh, Huh. Wow, commit hooks are passed directly to the shell. That's a pretty interesting thing. Um, all right. So this is how commit hooks work in Mercurial. Um, and I was reading through this, and it is clear, of course, that I want a commit hook. Now, yeah, I should check for trailing white space. That is a hook that I should run. Um, so does it have instructions for, does it say which environment variables are used? So it doesn't actually tell you. It just tells you that they'll be passed in environment variables, and all of the environment variables. Uh, hmm. Wow. This is something that I'm going to run in chat mode just to make sure that nothing untoward gets printed to the screen, because environment variables are can contain some sensitive information, because it's well known that environment variables are not accessible outside the process that or yes, they're inaccessible to anybody but the user of the uh, program that has the environment variables. So hello there, welcome back, Sir Elfman. Today we're writing a mercurial pre-commit hook so that I don't have to keep on trying to carefully measure out exactly how many characters I have in all my mercurial log messages. Um, and I'm going to be switching because I'm about to print out environment variables, and environment variables might contain things that I don't want people to see. All right. Things are just fine. Um, there are no environment variables that start with HG. So our first commit hook First of all, we're going to create a brand new repository here. It'll be a sub-repository, but we won't actually add it as a sub-repository. It's just a test. Okay. And we are going to use Vim, actually, and Vim, just because. And then we are going to add a hook. Hooks commit dot check message equals, and then there. Let's see. So basically, what environment variables do we get in a commit hook? That's what I want to know. Because it doesn't say in the documentation here about what's going on with the various hooks and environment variables, like which environment variables. It has something, but it isn't like a definitive, this hook uses these environment variables for this. It just has a list of environment variables that might get used for various hooks. But it doesn't sound like the list is complete. Oh well. Ah. Interesting. What is the difference between pre-transaction change group? Well, that's interesting. So, all right. Oh, I think my headphones are going to be running out of battery. Just a bit. I'm going to be changing the battery on these things. Doing a sound check again. Yep, we're back in business. I should have checked the batteries before starting the stream. Now let's see here. All right. um, okay. So I can use this to check the commit message. And by doing this. Now, let's see what happens when I do that. All right. Oh. All right then. So commit is not the right thing because if a commit hook fails, it does not prevent the commit happens. All right. How do I? Here we go. One. Oh, so pre-transaction commit is run before commit. Well, hello there, Sky. Let's see. I am working on trying to set up uh, hooks. I should have made it a pre-commit hook. That's the problem. So hooks are things in that you can set up They work with Git, but they also work with Mercurial. Um, the way you set up hooks in Git is probably a bit different than you do in Mercurial, but both of them have the concept. Um, um, there we go. That's what I should have done. So this one, I don't actually get a commit message of any kind. Okay. Um, right. Pre-transaction commit then is what I want. Okay. That means the commit didn't happen at all. Um, so the difference between a commit hook and a pre-transaction commit hook is the commit hook is used for checking general things about the state of a repository or the state of the person doing the committing before you do the commit. Um, it doesn't know anything about the commit in particular. Uh, it just knows about the repository and that you're doing a commit. Um, and also what the parents of the commit will be, the parent change sets of the commit will be. Um, but uh, knows nothing else. And so it's not, I want to check the commit message and it won't know the commit message. So it shouldn't be, uh, there we go. All right then. This is what I wanted. Oh, what's in HG pending? Oh, that's just the home of the repository. Um, okay. Now we need to do a new window because I need to make a window that's exactly 80 characters wide so I can test. Um, in the default output of Mercurial, uh, what is the appropriate width to fit on an 80 column display? Because you know those punch cards are really important. We need to make sure that things still stay on punch cards. um, all right. Here is what we are going to do. We're just going to turn off the pre-transaction commit hook temporarily. And then uh, we're going to uh, so 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay. All right. So now we know exactly how many characters we can get. Um, that many. $67. Let's see. HG help templates. There's a fairly sophisticated language here. Um, yep, that is. Yes. Well, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you heard that number. Um, you know what we're going to do here, instead of just doing 1 greater than ampersand 2 for everything, we're going to do it for everything in a less verbose way. There we go. Um, wow, that's annoying. Oh, you know, it would help if I did that. Okay. Okay. So the commit hooks are always run out of the home directory of the repository. So I can do this. I can do a check message hook here. Um, So we're adding this another file, and we're going to change there. That indeed worked. All right. All right then. Sadly, there's nothing that allows me to modify the change message. Because that's the one thing I would really like to do with this pre-transaction hook is I would like to um, change the message if the uh, message has a certain thing in it. Um, anyway, uh, string. So I care about string equal. So we're going to use equal there. And actually, this has to occur inside of this. Then we override, if we say we're overriding the hook, then we override the hook and we just return. So otherwise, Oh, this one's an interesting one. Um, okay, that's how we're going to do it. There we go. Template, desk. There. That's what we will do here. First line of the commit message is to like that. If the total lines if total lines greater than 1, then So that's the other rule is if uh, there's more than one line, the first line must end in dot, dot, dot. Um, desk description. So you have filters here. If I actually took the time to figure out um, how these worked. um, okay, I have an idea for how to handle this problem. First, oh, this is annoying. Character counts. Okay. Character counts. So, oh, headphones are prone to spontaneously turning off. I'm looking for a nice Unicode thing to test with here. Um, oh, What is it complaining about here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One F1601. That should be a nice Unicode character. Oh, that's what the problem is. There we go. That will say 5, but if we use M instead, then we get 2. All right. That is what we want anyway. We want WC-M here. WC-L is still great. Now let's look at man grep. Okay. So the reason why I care about all this Unicode stuff is I'm trying to count characters, code points, not bytes. So well, that's very interesting. And this is also going into like that. Okay. If so I'm forcing an encoding here by setting this So basically, all right. So we can override the hook, and then the hook will test for any lines that are 81 characters or less or longer. So, for example, uh, no lines. But if I add one more character to it, then it matches. That's exactly what I was looking for. And the other thing that I want, uh, that is an awful lot of, okay. So if I put this in here, it'll be just fine still because grep is not using byte counts, it's using character counts. And so the fact that this is a multi-byte character won't matter to grep at all. It will count it as a single character. That is good. That works. All right. It's nice to know that my test should work. Um, this grep line here is basically to test for any lines that are more than 80 columns. Um, okay. Now, it succeeded even though the check message hook, but I did it as a pre-commit message. That's exactly what I want. On line 5, it complained about something, but what did it complain about? Line 3 actually is what it complained about. First of all, why did it not fail? Oh, I should put this in quotes. And now that we're doing that here, where else does it need to be in quotes? Not here, it doesn't need to be in quotes here. Doesn't need to be in quotes there. Doesn't need to be in quotes there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That worked. 82, and it tells me how long it was. All right. So 82, 67 to 82 is 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Well, that's very interesting. That should have failed. All right. There. No, that's not right. Actually, that's fine, because if you put an actual \n in your commit message, that's that in your first line of your commit message, because we don't actually care about really counting the total lines. We care. There. there. But if we do this, that's still fine. Okay. Actually, you know what we can do here? We're not going to do this because this is just a little weird. There. Okay, that's great. Yep, 76 greater than 67, so we need to remove 9 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. That works. Now let's try something else. Yep, more than 80 characters long. Please fix. Again, okay. Wee. Good. Okay, so now we have a pre-commit hook that correctly enforces all of my commit standards. Um, the 68 characters or 67 characters, yes, the number, um, is basically exactly enough for it to fill out a single line for the summary. This is there to make sure that the summary doesn't ever cause a wrap when doing a log, a normal log. And then This is to make sure that no line causes a wrap when doing a verbose log. So yeah. And the dot, dot, dot is there to make sure that anybody who looks at this knows. So let's try one last thing. Let's try one that doesn't pass. Oh, it doesn't like. Yeah, that should work. Uh, Here. All right. Like that. All right. Huh. It didn't work. What does it not like? Override hook. Oh, yeah, right. That should be fine. Right. So what is not working about this? Oh, there we go. Much better. See, that's the reason why I have some of the limits that I do. Um, yes. All right. It does mean that the message will have the override hook at the end when I want to override the hook. That's just fine. Okay. test repo is done. Hooks. That's an AI analysis. So, oh, that's a sample program written in my programming language. Um, huh. Well, that's interesting. I wonder where parser test.orig came from. Oh, that was from a long time ago. Okay, no wonder why it's. Again, for no apparent reason, my headphones spontaneously turn off. Well, now what happens if I actually try and open this file? Yep. Stupid thing, focus follows mouse. Yay. I'm tempted now to ask the AI about this. Oh, well, yet another update in the endless cascade of updates for this stupid thing. Like update after update after update. Are they updating this thing every day? All right, now we restart it. And no, I do not want to enable auto updates. And I don't understand why it always pops in full screen. Oh, well, there wasn't one because I erased it. You shouldn't have jumped the gun. You should have waited for me to add the HG sub or something before you decided that you should be paying attention to this repository. Uh, yep, that's exactly how this should work. All right. All right. Which AI assistant? Otto? Huh. Why are you using Gemini 3 Pro? I don't want Gemini 3 Pro. Well, let's see what Gemini 3 Pro says. Oh, this one's a good one. It caught a bug. It caught an important bug that I didn't check for. And really, anyway, it's interesting what it found. It did in fact find an actual bug, and I'm grateful that it found it. Um, but anyway, I'm going to. I think that's it. I am going to fix. I fixed the bug, and now I'm going to. I'm done. I really should check how amend and pre-transaction hooks. Anyway, uh, I am going to now end the stream. I've finished my commit hook for the evening, and that's a good thing. So now I won't be laboriously trying to count characters every time before I do a commit message. I will trust the commit hook to do all that checking for me and tell me what the problem is, if there is a problem. So that's it for this evening. I wish you all good night